Lieber Lerner, nochmal guten Tag und wir sind wieder da heute. Ich freue mich, dass Sie auch heute da sind. Heute machen wir weiter mit deutscher Nomen. Okay, das ist nur eine Einführung. Okay, yes, aber. Okay, now we want to continue our lesson today. But before we continue in our lesson today, I want to remind you what we did during our last lesson. We talked about the question word, the Fragewörter. And today, we are going to go to another topic entirely. And in our lesson of today, you will learn, number one, the peculiarities of German nouns. We're going to talk about the nouns today, the German nouns. We're going to learn, number one, the peculiarity of German nouns, and then the genders of the German nouns, and then we say some things. We're going to learn some things about the articles in German. And as we do it, we will be giving light on the difference between the language you know already, I mean English, and then the German language, so that with this kind of comparison, be able to understand better the nature or the peculiarity of the German noun. So we go straight to the point. I want you to know, when we are talking about, as we talk about this German noun, remember we talked about vocabulary. And vocabulary makes up a language. And this vocabulary is made up of different parts. Like, if you like, call it part of speech. And now we have an aspect that we're dealing with now, which is the noun. And there are some things that are very peculiar about the German noun. So, as we learn, we work on this noun, I want you to know the following, and please master it very well. The use of dictionary is very, very important for us to be able to increase the number of nouns. So, today we are going to see some nouns, some German nouns, but I want to, through the knowledge of German nouns today, to be able to go forward and learn more German nouns. Actually, it is advisable to know 10 new nouns every day. We're still going to, by the time we go through it, you understand what I mean. That you know 10 new nouns every day. And that will help to increase your vocabulary. The faster your vocabulary, the faster the ability to speak, the faster you possess the ability to speak. So today, as we talk about the noun, number one, you should know the noun. What do I mean by that? You just look around and you know that word in English, you want to know it in German. And by the time you want to know it in German, I can just give an example. We have table. This, the word in English. And then you want to know it in German. Use your dictionary. You check the English part, where the English words are written, and then you check the German. And of course, if you check the German dictionary, you see this. Fish. Fish. And after you have checked for this, automatically you have known that this is how this word is called in German. But that's not the end. In English, there is something that we do not have, but is very common in German. And what is that? And that is what we call gender. German nouns has gender. German nouns have gender. What's the meaning of that? All the nouns. And of course, from the background of English, German nouns, just like in English, they are names of persons, animals, places, or things. And when we say noun, sometimes concrete noun, abstract noun. So it's the same thing as we have it in English, I mean the definition of noun. However, German nouns have genders. A German noun can either be masculine or feminine or neutral. And that is how the German nouns are categorized. So we have these three genders. We have these three genders in qualifying, or these three genders are available in the German language. So as we talk about noun, our thoughts should be number one, nouns have genders. And as we check the dictionary for any noun, see the noun, look for the gender, and that is very, very important. Another thing that is important that we're going to do later is that nouns, German nouns, well, this is also possible in English, German nouns have plural. But then there's one other thing that we must emphasize very well. German nouns are written with initial capital letter. Either you find it in the beginning of the sentence, at the beginning of the sentence, or in the middle of the sentence, or at the end of the sentence. Once it's a German noun, it must be written with initial capital letter. So these are the basic things that we need to learn as we go into the study of this, knowledge of this German noun. Now let's take a look at some of the nouns and their genders. And I want to remind you, English nouns, or English generally, has only one gender marker. And for the definite article, and that is the V. But in the case of German, German has three gender markers. How many did I call it? Three gender markers. And then the markers are, these are the markers, the three three markers of the nouns in German. The first one is der, and that is the masculine. See? The second one is die, that is the feminine, and the third one is das, and that is the neutral. So those are the three gender markers that we have in German, and this makes the German noun totally different in characteristics from English noun. So we have der, and that's a noun. We're going to talk about that later. And then we have die, das. Understand? Der, die, das. Der, die, das. Those are the three gender markers in German. Of course, the plural is there, and the plural is die. The marker for plural is die. So we have der, die, das, then die. That means every noun, any noun, all nouns in German are categorized to masculine, feminine, neutral, and then every noun in German is written with initial capital letter. Okay, now I just want to give you some examples of nouns. Before we go, I'll just give you one example, and we have it already on the board. Here we have the one that is masculine. We have der Tag. Say it after me. Der Tag. Okay. The second one, die Situation. Die Situation. And the third one, das Radio. Das Radio. So we're going to repeat it. Der Tag. Die Situation. Das Radio. Okay. Now for the plural, just for us to have a rough idea of what it looks like. We're still going to do plural formation later. But for us to have a little idea of what it looks like, I will just use the first one, the first example. And here we have die Tage. Die Tage. First, der Tag. That means the day. Die Situation. That means the situation. And then das Radio. That means the radio. So you see in English, I kept on using DDD, but in German, it is different. And then we have here the target, the days in the plural form. So this is the first thing that we need to understand. Now the question that will be coming up from the heart of the learners, from the minds of the learner is, how do I know all these nouns? So many names of place, names of animal, names of things. How do I know which one is masculine, which one is feminine? And this is the challenge to English learners of German. Therefore, because of this challenge, there are actually rules that we're going to go through that will guide us to know which one masculine, which one feminine, which one is neutral. Understand? This gender, very, 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 very important in the German language. If one doesn't master it, a lot of questions or exercises that one will not be able to get right. So that's why we are going to talk about rules for learning the genders. The rules for learning the genders. There are certain rules that can be used to learn the genders of German nouns. Of course, there are exceptions. Definitely there are exceptions. Just as you can find that in other languages too. However, this rule will be like a guide to guide you to master the genders of German nouns faster. And that's what we're going to go to now. And I just believe as we work together, we're going to get there. Okay. Okay, we're starting with the masculine nouns. And the masculine nouns, how do I recognize the masculine? Well, these are just rules to guide. And then we want to see the words that when you see them, you can have a rough idea that they are masculine. So words that ends with OR, LING, SMUS, IG, words that ends like that, likely 80% of the cases or 85% of the cases they are masculine now. And then the days of the week, they are certainly masculine now. The months of the year, masculine now. And then the seasons of the year, they are also masculine. We are going to go back to the first one, words that end with OR. I give an example. Dear Rotor. Dear Rotor. Of course, you can see this is the masculine marker. Dear Rotor. And it means the rotor. And then number 2, LING. Dear Liebling. Dear Liebling simply means the favorite. And dear Liebling, you see again, masculine marker here. The next one, SMUS, dear Egoism. Dear Egoism. And means egoism. And then the next one, dear IG, dear Honig. Dear Honig. And that means the honey. Dear Honig. Dear Honig. There we see again the masculine marker. Then the next, and then now we have the days of the week. We have not done it. We are still going to go back. We are still going to do that later. But then the days of the week, I give just an example, and that is the Montag. That is Monday. So that means Monday is masculine, Tuesday is masculine, Wednesday is masculine, Thursday is masculine, Friday is masculine, Saturday is masculine, Sunday is masculine in the German language. So I just give an example of one, the Montag. Okay, and that shows the gender marker, masculine gender. And then the next one is the month of the year. We have also not done that. We're going to get to that later. And I just give an example. Dear January. Dear January. That is January. Dear January. And then the next one, seasons of the year. We have 4 seasons in the year. And then we have Just give this one as an example. We have the marker diezoma, diezoma, diezoma. So we have this as a guide. I will keep on repeating something. I will say it now, and as we talk about the gender of nouns, I'll keep on repeating it, and towards the end, as we round off on German nouns, I will still repeat so that we will get it clearly. The best way to learn the German noun is by learning the noun with the gender. You learn right from the onset. The first day you see a noun, you learn that noun with the gender. I give an example. That means, here for instance, I'll just take a word. This is a noun, montage. Or I take turning. Now, you don't check your dictionary and just say, when you see honey, what is the meaning of honey in German? How do we call honey in German? You don't just open your dictionary and say, okay, it is turning. No, you say, der turning, der Honig. And that is the only way that the thing that will help you to keep the gender with the word. Until you know the gender of a word, see yourself as if you have not known the word at all. So we have this for the masculine noun, masculine nomen. We have these few examples: der Autor, der Liebling, der Egoismus, der Honig, and we have the days of the week, der Montag, months of the year, der Januar, and then the seasons of the year, der Sommer. That takes us to the next one, which is the feminine noun. Okay, now we are coming to feminine nouns. Remember, we are still on rules for learning the genders. And then, under feminine nouns, the words that end with the following ending, German words that end with the following endings, are 90% of the time feminine. Feminine nouns, feminine Nomen, and as we said, words ending with a given ending can guide us to knowing if a noun is feminine, masculine, or neutral. And now we come to feminine nouns, and these endings, we want to start with the first ending. When you see them, can 80% of the time, 90% sometimes, you will be right. If you see these words and you see the endings of this word, this ending in a word, those words are likely to be feminine. Remember, I said there are exceptions. This will just be a guide. So we start with the first one, UNG. Now I have an example here, die Beleidigung. Yes, the word sounds a bit big, but then the important thing we want to know now is to see that it's ending with UNG, die Beleidigung. You can also pronounce it with me, die Beleidigung. And then the second one is Keit. The example here is die Sauberkeit. Die Sauberkeit. This is what we are looking for. That noun is a feminine noun. And then the next one is Schacht. We have the example, die Kundschaft. Die Kundschaft. Die Kundschaft. Okay? And the next one is State. And the example is the Universität. The Universität. Of course, see the state here. So seeing that word helps you to know this word is feminine. And then the next one, height. So we see Schönheit. This is the word here, height. Schönheit. Die Schönheit. Die Schönheit. The next one is Ik. Ik. So we have the example, the Romantik. The Romantik. And then the next one, the ending is Tion, and the example is die Situation. Say it after me, die Situation. And then the next one is UR. Example is die Kultur. Situation, you have here, and then Kultur. And the last one on the list is most flowers. Most flowers are carrying feminine gender. So I have one example there. Die Sonnenblumen. Die Sonnenblumen. As I said, this will guide you to understanding of, to know which gender is masculine or feminine or if. Okay, now we go to the next one, which is the neutral noun. Go to the next one now, neutral. Okay, we come again to the neutrale Nomen, the neutral nouns. And how do you know if a noun is neutral? And again, this will serve as a guide. The words that end with ten, line, ma, ment, nis, and the borrowed words. This will guide us to know if the word is neutral. So I will go back to the first one. Shen, we have it here. Das, remember, the neutral marker. Das Mädchen. So we have the Shen here. Because of that Shen, we know that noun is neutral. And then the second one is line. So we have Tischlein. Tischlein. Actually, Shen and line, they are kind of diminutive marker of a noun. So we see Mädchen, little girl, and then Tischlein, small table. And then we have the ma, that's magma. That's magma. Don't forget, these are all indicating that these words are neutral. And then we have the ment, that's firmament. That's firmament. Of course, you see the ment here. And then the next one, that's Ergebnis. That's Ergebnis. And the nis here, Ergebnis. And then tum, that's Judentum. That's Judentum. See the tum here? And these are the what indicates to us that the noun is neutral. And then the next one is that's Zentrum. That's Zentrum. See the UM. And then we come to the last one. The borrowed words. Mostly from English, borrowed words usually have neutral gender. I have some examples here. That's radio. That's radio. And then that's Problem. That's Problem. And then the next one, that's hobby. That's hobby. So from all this, we see the indication of neutrality in those nouns. I recommend again. Remember I said I'm going to be saying it again and again, especially when we are talking about nouns, German nouns. I want to repeat what I've said before. I recommend you learn the noun with the article. This seems to be a faster way of mastering the article with the noun. Yes, it's good we have rules. Of course, the rules have their exceptions. The rules will guide, but the best way to know a noun and the article or the gender that goes with it is by learning that noun with the gender. So, for instance, it's better you learn a word like, you don't learn the word house, but what you learn is that's house. By the time you check it in the dictionary, you don't just say, okay, house. No, you learn it together. Instead of learning house, you learn that's house. And anywhere you are, you want to talk about this now, you say it together, that's house. You don't just say tomato, you learn it together with the gender. The tomato. The tomato. Not only that, morgen, pause. You don't just say, you don't look at the dictionary and say, okay, what is the meaning of morning? You learn it with the gender. Der Morgen. Music, you learn it alone. Say die Musik. And then other nouns like that, I've given you some examples. We need to learn them with the gender. And another thing that we have talked about is repetition. When you repeat the gender with the nouns, you get to have them in your system faster than you can imagine. If you repeat this word now severally after me, it will not be a problem for you. If somebody asks you, what is the gender of that noun? Very easily you can say, what is the word? And then the person says the noun is house. Oh yes, that's house. Because you have learned the two together. So regular repetition will also help you pronounce the nouns with the article and do the pronunciation loud. And by doing that, you'll be able to store the word in your memory. So today, we have been able to we have been able to do the German nouns, and we have talked about masculine noun, feminine noun, neutral noun. And German nouns are so divided. It's important for a learner of German language to know what gender belongs to a particular noun. I will see you during the next class. Thank you.